Hello, Philadelphia! I'm Bruce Buffer. It's time for the Anthony Gorgano Show!
Good morning, everybody. Oh, happy Tuesday to all across the Delaware Valley. It's the Anthony Gargano Show presented by Rite Aid, your neighborhood pharmacy. Visit your local Rite Aid today. Stock up on allergy relief or catch up on immunizations for RSV, shingles, and more. Walk in, schedule a vaccine appointment at riteaid.com. Good morning. It is Tuesday, May 14th. And it's interesting, right? Because on this date, 6 years ago, 2018, the Phillies also played the Mets. So let's talk about last night for a second. So you want to talk about a statement. And again, what it is it's a statement on how this team is built, right? They are 29-13 after the pullout, after that win last night, the rally against the Metropolitans. And what it shows you is the fight in this team. You know, it's funny, last week during the streak, when the streak ended, they rallied, right? They had second and third, one out, tying run on second base. And then I thought that they were going to pull it out. But that's what this team is. Even, you look at Sunday, they're in every game. Rarely do they have that give up 8-1 loss that just about every team in the major leagues have, right? So last night against Edwin Diaz, the Mets closer, who, remember, last year he missed all of last season. He comes back and wow, right? He's dealing. He's averaging 13 and a half strikeouts over 9 innings. And he does not give up a lot of home runs. All right? 3 home runs in 2022 when he came onto the scene. Only allowed 3 bombs. And last night, Stott got him. What a swing. A bomb to get it to 4-3. And then Clemens with a pinch hit. And then it's 2 outs. And Whit Merrifield, who has been struggling, is able to work the walk. And that working the walk allows Bohm to get hit by a pitch. That squeezes home the tying run. They go on to win it. This team is just impressive. They're now 29-13. And let's look at perspective. So perspective is in 2018, Aaron Nola pitched against the Mets. Aaron Nola today will pitch against the Mets 1 o'clock from Citi Field. That lineup in 2018, leading off, Carlos Hernandez. Batting second, Aaron Altair. Batting third, Odubel Herrera. Batting fourth, Rhys Hoskins. Batting fifth, Carlos Santana. Batting sixth, Maikel Franco. Batting seventh, Scotty Jetpacks Kingery. Batting eighth, Alfaro. And then batting ninth was Nola, pre-DH, as you know. That was your lineup when the Phillies played the Mets exactly 6 years ago. With the same starting pitcher on the bump, they had that lineup. Now look at them, right? 2 years ago, World Series. Last year, another run before the disappointing loss to Arizona. They are 29-13 and just rolling. I always love perspective, right? And the perspective that the Phillies provide over 6 years, becoming a contender, and with the makeup of that team, the constant fight, it tells you something. I'm going to repeat myself all summer long. It's impossible to tell you what's going to happen in October. You can't do that in baseball. Forget injuries, which we all know about, but you're prone to hot bats and hot pitchers, and you never know, right? That's why baseball is so unpredictable, most unpredictable of any of the four team sports, right? It just is. But you know how good this team is, and this team's going to be fighting all summer long. They are truly the fighting Phillies. All right, tomorrow night, 8 p.m., the schedule comes out. But, of course, there's been leaks. So this is what's happening. First, let's look at opening weekend. We know that Kansas City is going to play Baltimore to open the season that Thursday. Eagles-Packers from Brazil that Friday. The Brady-Fox game where he makes his debut. That Sunday, Dallas against the Browns. And then the Monday night game is Aaron Rodgers back against the Niners. We know the opponents. Now, this is interesting because we now know the home and road. We don't know the order. That'll happen tomorrow night. But the home opponents for the Eagles, the division games, Cowboys, Giants, Commanders. Then Browns, Falcons, Panthers, Jaguars, Steelers. Now, it's interesting. The Green Bay game is also, which is in Brazil. The Eagles are a home game, but we know that game's in Brazil. So if you look at outside of the division games, you got Cleveland, tough game, but winnable. They'll be a favorite. Atlanta, all right, rebuilt, should be a favorite. Carolina, same thing. They're gonna roll. Jacksonville, we'll see what happens. Lawrence, but that's another favorite. And Pittsburgh, they'll be a favorite, even though they're rebuilt. So you look at that schedule, that's a pretty good schedule. The road games, and what we love about this are the road trips. So we'll discuss this in further once we know the dates, and we'll plan our trips. But the away schedule is phenomenal. Tampa, so you get to go to Tampa, Clearwater, which is always a blast. The Rams, you get to go to L.A. That's a great game, man. Rams-Eagles, that's awesome. Ravens-Eagles in Baltimore, that's another one. That's a great watch. Bengals, right? You get Joe Burrow and the Birds. Saints, which is one of my favorite cities, New Orleans. So, and then you got your division games, Dallas, Washington, and New York. That's a fun schedule. And we'll know it in order tomorrow night. We'll geek out and the whole thing. So we'll get into that sort of thing. Phillies, Birds on the docket. We'll talk to Renee Washington from our All Phillies, All PHLY Phillies show. And Renee does a lot with women's sports. The WNBA tips off tonight. And Caitlin Clark at Center States. We were having a debate in office about the merits and the popularity of the sport of women's basketball. So we'll discuss that. It's funny. Our operations manager, Vince Pellegrini, he's all WNBA and up. We were discussing the whole thing, debating about how big is it. And there's a lot of groundswell. I know my man JP is all over it. So we'll get into that discussion. Larry Bowa will join us. Always love talking to Bo for the big chat at 10 o'clock. We'll talk to Bo about the Phillies and about where they're at and just about this whole summer. So we'll get into that. Looking forward to it. And then I just got chastised. Moments before I got on the air, my wife calls me and she says, Massimo has a concert tonight. I know he has baseball, but we just got chastised and lambasted by Massimo's music teacher because he plays the trumpet. And he's got a concert tonight. And he also has baseball tonight. And so, it's not like he's rushing to go to band every day, right? But he is rushing to go to baseball every day. And of course, I am the bad guy, right? Because I go, well, I mean, baseball, right? He's probably going to pitch tonight. So, you should be playing his baseball. Look, baseball is going to be more important to him going forward, right? Like when he hopefully plays in high school and the whole thing. So that was my kind of my answer to the whole thing. Like, obviously, if there was no baseball or if it was raining out, we would make him go to the concert. But what am I going to do? I have a tough time doing my own schedule, let alone their schedule, my kids. All right? I was at St. Augustine last night, the great high school deep in South Jersey, and we had, because Anthony's going to be going there next year, and there was a football parents meeting. And, so I drove 45 minutes and I'm excited to see all the coaches meet. I love that stuff, right? Like, that's the greatest thing in the world. But their schedule is more than mine, is more complicated or as much complicated as mine, right? So then, of course, I'm the bad guy. VG's calling me a Philistine, right? Like, he's going, well, what about the arts? And I go, well, I'm all about the arts. I love the arts. But, the kid's got to play baseball. What can I tell you? I don't know what to say. We'll get into that. Good morning, JP.
I'm just dying over this story and it's funny too because I related because growing up, I was like, I love sports. I wanted to play the sports. My parents wanted me to be in the arts, right? I think we had the conversation about like how I had to miss football practice because of CCD and stuff like that.
Yes.
So like listening to you say this, I was like, wow, I wish my dad would have done that. But it's such a funny
I got to take the heat though, dude.
I know.
I'm the one on the grill.
You are the bad guy, unfortunately.
Like the music teacher's not happy.
Oh, no. Yeah.
He spent all summer, all whatever semester practicing. I don't know what to do, but all I know is I make a call.
Because these music teachers do not play around. From experience, they
God
do not play around.
Them. I think they're necessary. I'm a believer in the arts. I mean, I'm a very creative person. 100%. I love art. Now, I'm more of a visual, right, with writing or painting or whatever. But, I mean, music, God bless.
What does the kid want, though?
The kid wants to play baseball. He wants to play baseball.
I think he should play baseball. Then.
I mean, whatever. And then, I'm already getting the gestures out of Violations Greg, who, by the way, runs a music label. I mean, listen. No, he runs a Metallica, right? He runs that kind of.
Yeah, Casper the Ghost says, I'm a huge music guy, but sports reign supreme.
100%. Thanks, Casper. Listen, I'm all for it. I don't know what to do.
No trumpet for Moss.
Play ball. Thank
you, Andrew. I don't know what to do. I mean, the kid. And then I feel horrible. Like, I said, should I write the music teacher? I'm like, no, I already, she chastised us.
Wow.
God.
Your wife's taking the heat for that. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I mean, listen.
But now, because she's taking the heat, means I'm taking the heat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You got to listen to it.
So Anthony has a placement test at St. Augustine tonight.
Nice.
So she's got to take him there for that. And I'm on baseball day, because I'm always on baseball day.
Yeah,
I love. So I'm not like I'm complaining. But she's like, well, you could take him to the concert. And I go, wow. I mean, do I want to watch him pitch or do I watch him play the trumpet?
Yeah, come on.
10-year-olds hitting the wrong note all the time. You got to listen to that.
Exactly,
Come on now.
Right? I hear you, Andrew. I mean, it's what it is. I think, geez, forgive me. I know you as a dog parent have a lot to say. I go to the concert, he said. All kidding aside, that was Pop It All, brought to you by Olipop. Find your favorite Olipop flavors at your nearest Wawa.
Start off with a win, cuz. And Mets week, and screw New York week.
Yes, it is F New York week.
I love it. We need this, right?
Yes, because tomorrow Union
NYCFC, the Mets come down here, down Turnpike to play the Phils. So it's going to be a lot of fun tomorrow. But
the home and home.
Yeah, hopefully today we get another one. But yesterday was big. I mean, like, I thought Christopher Sanchez looked solid. I thought he was better as the start went on. And that Stoddard, man, oh my God.
Bears down, isn't he?
Yeah, it's freaking awesome.
I mean, you know, he's got the Bowa gene. Like the bear down. Looking forward to talking to Larry. But let's discuss this for a second, because you're the one who got me the lineup from 2018. Mm-hmm. You're like, dude, look at this thing, right?
This is so funny.
And like, you're looking at this lineup, and I love perspective. Like, I remember being miserable in 2018. People going, oh, Carlos Hernandez is great. No, he's not. He's a horrible leadoff hitter. Struck out way too much, right? It was terrible, right? Altair, who I will never forget, the bro loved Aaron Altair. Oh, he's going to be a stud. I stunk, right? Odubel, oh, God. Watching him play baseball, I'm telling you, the 11-year-olds had way more baseball sense than Odubel had. Reese, God love him. Santana, Cook, Franco never was. Kingery never was. Remember, you make the investment in him early, and he just flopped. Alfaro, gets traded. And then Nola. I mean, that's perspective, JP.
Yeah. I mean, listen, that's what we always talk about on the show, because, this city, it's always the muckers and the grinders, and there's our star players, right? And I feel like that's the difference with this team. Like, you have a lot of star power. You have a lot of power in general. And you look at this lineup from 2018, oh my God, you have to be sitting there praying that finally we have some star players here. You mentioned some Odubel Herrera, oh my God. And listen, you know me, I love Jorge Alfaro, Colombian connection, but we definitely did well in that JT Realmuto trade. I mean, has anyone seen Sixto Sanchez these days? My man's ready for the beer league, okay? So it's been a lot of fun just seeing how this team has evolved. And, we don't give a lot of credit to Dumbo, but he's done a really good job of building this roster. It's pretty much surrounding around Bryce Harper. I remember was it 2021? We get eliminated by the Braves again at the end of the season, and Bryce went up to in the closing press conference, the exit press conference, talking about how we need young stud players. And Dumbo filled it out. You look at the daycare, how big they said.
Dumbo. You're all about Dombrowski.
Listen,
the dude goes around, and people go, "Wow, it's easy when you have." John Middleton's money, but listen, you can make them. We've seen expensive mistakes.
Jake Arrieta.
All right, we've seen a lot of and he has built it correctly. I think you're right. I mean, he's built it correctly. If you go back to the Clensack days and how bad that organization was, and how it was analytics over baseball, right? And now you have the perfect blend. Like, they were a team that was never analytically sound, right? And then they went, and it's a lesson for life, right? When the pendulum goes too far the other way, it doesn't work. Like the middle is where we should all live our lives, because it's the most sensical. The middle, right? Right? Some analytics, baseball, right? They marry. The game's always been about trends and analytics and deep-rooted in that sense. But you can't lose sight of the baseball, of the tactician, think about it, right? Of the skill sets.
Yeah.
So, I think they did. For a while, they lost their way, and Dombrowski kind of pushed them back towards center.
But even just the feel of the game, especially when you're talking about playoffs, because sometimes maybe the analytics may tell you to take the pitcher out. But in the playoffs, in that moment, the pitcher will feed into that moment. And so I agree with you. You're spot on. I think you have to have that healthy medium. You need to obviously implement some of the analytics, but also you have to understand these are human beings. You never know what's going to happen on a day-to-day basis. And I think that's important. I've had this conversation with Jim Curran of the Union, because they're very big on the analytics too, but he also understands too the feel of the game, when to sub the player in or out. So I think it's important. You have to have that health. It's just anything in life. You have to have a healthy medium.
Yep. No, all right, that's great. So we got lots to get to.
Get to. I'm looking forward to
Nene's going to join us.
Look for your WNBA talk with Nene.
Yeah, so I want you to jump in during this conversation, because yesterday our man Vince Pellegrini Vinny was all WNBA'd up.
He's
right?
beating the chest on.
He was. And listen, I'm open to anything. I love basketball, the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going to front. It's not my. It's not my first and foremost. Like I love watching the NBA playoffs, right? Like, it is what it is. So we were kind of talking about it, and he was making the argument how it was bigger than the women's tournament was bigger than the men's tournament, and blah blah blah, and the whole thing. And it was an interesting conversation because you're looking forward to it.
Yeah, I do like the product. Like for myself, like I listen. I don't care the gender. I don't care the age. Like I love basketball. I love soccer. Like those are the two sports that I wish that were here in Philadelphia. And to be honest with you, because the main reason why I don't watch the WNBA and the NWSL is because we don't have teams here in Philadelphia. It's hard for me to watch a league and just watch Indiana or watch New York. Like I need that rooting interest. I'm just such a local kid. I need that Philadelphia flair into it. So that's why I personally don't watch it as much as I should. But I do think that it's a good product. I think it's getting better. I think too with the
time is tough. Like the time for a sports fan, and that's my biggest problem. Like I can get into anything. Like I told you, like the soccer piece of it is great. I just don't have the time.
I hear you.
To dive into. I would like if I'm home. I have a window sometimes between 3 and 5, and sometimes I use that to decompress, and I'll see a Serie A game.
There you go.
So I'll watch Napoli.
There you go.
And I'll be into it, right? Like that, or at a Premier League game at 3, because it just happens to fit the schedule. But it's hard because it's hard to fit everything in, right? Like I'm a front runner with golf. I love golf, but I like the majors. So I'll focus in during the majors weekend, and then I'm not in on every tournament. That's
why I like this, like the positives of the internet technology. Like one thing I'll do, because I don't have time for soccer, and I love soccer. So the highlights on YouTube are so big.
I know, but
catching up on all that.
But to me, if I want to do highlights, I have to be invested.
I see what you're saying.
It's like
for you to be fully in on the product.
I wish I had the time to consume all this stuff.
Yeah,
like F1. I have a lot of interest in F1, but I just not enough time.
I hear you.
Right, time. I wish I could, read, a novel a week. I always got the time.
I hear you.
Time.
That's why I have great people like Renee to tell us what's going to happen.
Yeah, that's right. All right, but first, let's talk about the Bet Parks Sportsbook app. Bet Parks! You love the bet? You bet Parks. You go to Parks Casino Ben Salem. Man, they have everything. Top line entertainment. State-of-the-art, slots, poker room, all your table games that you like. The sports book's ridiculous. You got it all. And Parks Racing is pretty awesome too, man. And they're all over the Preakness. There's that Philly horse. All right. Uncle Heavy is running. It's awesome. Like a Philadelphia horse, the whole thing. So you got to check out Parks Casino for the casino, the dining, right? The casino games, the sports book, the Parks Racing. And if you can't get there, you download the Bet Park Sportsbook and Casino app. You get all the same fun and action right on your phone. Same game parlays, all the stuff that the brain talks about every day for the daily grind. You got it, right? All that stuff, daily, all that baseball stuff, same game parlays and props and you name it. You have it right there on the Parks Sportsbook app. Also, the casino games right there. Like you want to take a break and in the middle of a game and play some live dealer blackjack, you got it right there on your phone. You got to be 21. You got to be located in PA, New Jersey, Ohio, Maryland. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER.
All righty, cuz. Well, let's talk real quick about our friends over at Rite Aid. Listen, I'm such a nostalgic guy. I just remember always growing up, going to my local Rite Aid, right there next to Ellsberg Circle on Route 70 in Cherry Hill. I used to ride my bike up there or take the ride with my mom to pick up some medicine. Rite Aid was always there, and Rite Aid is still here for you here today, and especially as we're talking about the time of season where you may need your allergies, but also you need to make sure you stay up to date with all your vaccines as well. We're talking about vaccines here, ladies and gentlemen. Protect yourself and your family by staying up to date on immunizations. Rite Aid pharmacists are specially trained and certified in immunizations as well. Most vaccines are no cost with insurance or through government plans like Medicare Part D. And Rite Aid pharmacists can give you vaccines for RSV, COVID-19, shingles, You name it there. Vaccine centers are all at Rite Aid. Select Rite Aid stores have a dedicated pharmacist ready to administer vaccines and to answer all your questions. Have questions on what immunizations you need? Not sure if you're up to date? Feeling nervous? Ask questions. A Rite Aid pharmacist will take the time to make personalized recommendations based on your health history and discuss any concerns. No questions are too small. Just walk in or schedule an appointment Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. State, age, and health restrictions may apply. Ask a Rite Aid pharmacist for details. So for your vaccine needs, make sure you guys keep Rite Aid in mind. Thank you to our friends over at Rite Aid.
JP, a big story. Fightins, of course, comeback win last night. Brought to you by TrueMark Financial Credit Union. Check out TrueMark.com/PHLY. Stop at your local branch to learn more about the credit union difference at TrueMark Financial today. All right, let's welcome to the program. We love her. She does such a great job on the all PHLY Philly show. Nene, Renee Washington. Good morning, Nene.
Morning, cuz. How are you?
I'm great. After last night, come back. The fight. You got to love the fight in the Fightins.
Oh, yeah. And this is what the Phillies have been doing. They've been finding ways to grind out wins. And it's something that they've talked about. Bryson Stott, the hero of last night, has mentioned that himself. Every day it's a different pitcher. It's a different hitter. It's a different guy that's stepping up. And even with injuries, they still found a way to squeeze out that win last night. When you win, winning is contagious. It's fun. And it doesn't always have to be pretty, but a win is a win.
Well, and here's the other thing, too, is you're going up against a terrific closer, right? He's got great stuff. He's got a 2-run lead. He hadn't blown a 2-run lead, I think, once in 2022. Obviously, he was hurt last year. But, like, you got a tough pitcher, and Stott gets it started, right? Like, this team, no Turner with the injury. JT's a little banged up, so he didn't start again. And you look at him, first game against the Mets in a 4-game home and home for 2 apiece. And that's, to me, is a statement. Like, they haven't even gotten hot. Like, Schwarber hasn't gone on a tear yet. Bryce really hasn't gone on that tear where he carries you for, 3 or 4 weeks. And they're still 29-13 and getting wins.
That's the thing. People keep trying to look for reasons to discredit the success of the Phillies at the early part of the season, the hottest team across the league. And when you look at that game against Edwin Diaz, they made one of the best closers in the league. Granted, coming off of an injury, but still, he's one of the best. And they caused him to make mistakes. They got after him. And it's not Bryce Harper. It's not Kyle Schwarber, who actually struck out as a pinch hitter late. It is Bryson Stott. It's Cody Clemens who gets the call up and has been. Every time he's called up, he's delivered.
Yeah.
It's Edmundo Sosa making big plays. This team, what's making them the most successful is it's not just one guy. Trey Turner goes down. We all get nervous with that 6-week injury to his hamstring. It doesn't matter. The team continues rolling. Alec Bohm playing phenomenal. It's just been a number of different guys that are contributing, and they're getting after the best. Jose Barrios, Edwin Diaz, guys that are coming in with incredible ERAs, incredible numbers on the season. I don't care if their team is below 500. You're beating guys. You're beating teams. It's Major League Baseball. It's never going to be easy, and they're making some of the best at times crumple. That's what the Phillies are doing. They're bringing the pressure. They're bringing the heat, and they have that next man up mentality. It's been fun to watch. Even with JT down, Garrett Stubbs, who got so much heat, we were talking about him on the show, how he has not historically done well with Zach Wheeler when he's catching for Zach Wheeler. We saw that on Sunday. But goes out, gets a bunt, gets a play, sets up for the Phillies to get on the scoreboard. It doesn't matter if they are 1 for 11 with runners in scoring position, leaving guys stranded. The Phillies are still, when it counts, down the stretch for the most part, able to win.
Well, just the other thing, Renee, too, is, grinding it out. So you look at Whit Merrifield, who's been struggling, right? Like, he's been scuffling. They put him at the top of the order. And last night, he works a walk. He works the count to 3-2, gets the walk, and then that sets the stage for Bohm to be hit and to force in the tying run. And a guy like that plate discipline to be able to grind out that at bat, even when you're scuffling, right, allows that game to go to, because you force the pressure on Diaz, and then he winds up hitting Bohm.
And that's something I remember us complaining about in the playoffs, especially in the NLCS, that the Phillies weren't giving good at-bats. It was home run or bust. and we wanted them to be able to play small ball and be able to get after pitchers, and they've been doing that. I mean, this entire season, for the most part, we've seen opponents, starting pitchers, already having to get talked to by their coaches. First inning, second inning, pulled by the third or fourth inning. They're running up the pitch count early on pitchers. And yet again, last night, we saw that against the Mets. The Mets are going to Mets, and we love to see it. But we saw the Phillies yet again had the plate discipline to get walks, to be able to just keep the inning alive. Whereas at other times in the past, it might have been a 1-2-3 inning. So they are making those minor adjustments. I think what people are missing is it's not flashy. You look at teams like the Dodgers, and of course, even the Braves before their fall from grace. And it feels like the Phillies aren't flashy. They're not fun. It's ugly wins at times. But they're giving you the minor tweaks, the late adjustments, the bullpen stepping up that's allowed them to be able to be the best in the league right now. So it doesn't always have to be flashy. A walk, getting hit by a pitch is just as successful as you smashing a home run out of the ballpark.
Yeah, it was funny. I was watching, so late night, the Dodgers come on, and Betts, they're playing San Francisco, and Betts starts the game with a home run. And I'm just looking at them, and I'm going, Yamamoto's on the mound for them. And I was watching because you could see the showdown. And listen, I'm not discounting Atlanta because that lineup is so dangerous, and they always find a way. But it looks like it could be a showdown, Phillies-Dodgers again. Like we have had these if you go way back in the day, Larry Bowa's on, they played the Dodgers. They had that thing. During the last great run from 07 to 11, twice the Phillies beat the Dodgers, right, to get to the World Series. It was the back-to-back. So it feels like it's going to be another showdown with that squad, which is a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. Listen, the Dodgers are a fun team to watch. It's great for baseball. Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Tyler Glass now, how he's come into the team. Of course, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, the young superstar that he is, and how he's emerging to finally be able to pitch at the level that everybody expected. It took him some time. This team is fun to watch. And I know I've been talking a lot about them on the show because I've got Mookie Betts on my fantasy team that's doing really well, because you haven't heard the buzz, but my fantasy team's top of the league thanks to Mookie. And I will say, though, in all seriousness,
is your partner Jamie Lynch in that league?
Oh yeah, he's getting killed, and I love it because I'm the one that's like top of the league.
You're smacking him around. That's fantastic.
And every show, I'm making an effort to make sure to remind them that my team is top of the league. Bryce Harper and Mookie Betts are leading the way. But what I will say is for the Dodgers and the Braves, the difference is they're running the same guys game in and game out. And I'm not watching every single game. I can't act like I watch every Braves Dodgers game the way I watch every Phillies game. But what I love about the Phillies is they are building depth. Christian Pache and Edmundo Sosa go 5 for 9 between Friday and Saturday of this past weekend. When everybody was wondering, why aren't we seeing Marsh get the start twice out of the weekend? It doesn't matter. Whoever is out there is performing, and it's a lot of times been the bottom of the batting order.
Yeah, Rojas, the home run the other night. And even I love Marsh, right? I'm a Marsh fan. And you look at him stealing bases and just being a pain, right? He's just a great pest, Marsh.
He's fun to watch. Honestly, he's one of my favorite players on the team to watch. I just love his energy. He brings some swagger. He brings some fun to the game. And also he's a guy that's, takes chances and plays aggressive. The Phillies overall have been playing very aggressive, but I feel like he's one that contagious energy has been rolling through the team. You see them stealing more bags. I think it was like 49 to the first 41 games or something like that. They're stealing more bases. They're taking chances. It doesn't always pay off, but when it does, we love it, and it's great to see. So it's fun that it's not just the top of the batting order, and I really feel like down the stretch, injuries, with the longevity of the season, with whatever could happen in the course of 162 games and more once you get to the playoffs, that's what's going to help the Phillies be a team that's really dangerous to match up with late in the season.
Yep, I'm with you. All right, so let's switch gears a little bit because the WNBA tips off tonight, all right? And look at you. You're all ready. So give us a little primer because Caitlin Clark makes her debut, and give us some primer on it because – I have to fill you in on something a little bit. I need your expertise here.
Well, okay, there's lots to unpack with the WNBA. Listen, Caitlin Clark's debut is much-watched TV, much like we just saw with Paul Skeens and the Pirates this past weekend. We love when you get to see the debut of young talent. We saw it with Wemby and the Spurs in the NBA. We just saw it with Paul this past weekend. We're going to see it with Caitlin Clark tonight as the Indiana Fever get a chance to take on the Connecticut Sun. Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston are going to be a really fun young duo to watch because we saw them go head-to-head in college. Of course, we saw the March Madness, the Final Four, all the games that they had against each other, and now they get to be teammates. And that's always incredible to watch how that transition happens of going from opponents to teammates or vice versa. So they're going to be a very young team to watch this year. Obviously, everybody is tuned in to see how Caitlin Clark is going to transition into the league. In preseason, she's done really well and showed that same shooting prowess that she has is going to be able to help. It's like Steph Curry. It's hard to defend. It's unpredictable. You never know when she's going to pull up. She also has the ability to make great passes. And I'm excited to see that in the league because there are other players that can do the same thing. You've got a team like the New York Liberty who takes on the Washington Mystics tonight. The Liberty who have Sabrina Ionescu, who we saw obviously go head-to-head with Steph Curry in the NBA All-Star Weekend. She's a sharpshooter. You've got Breanna Stewart. You've got Jonquel Jones. That's their big three that they have, along with other complementary pieces like a Betnijah, Lainey Hamilton. They're one of the top teams in the league last year and should be again this year. And then, of course, the reigning champs, the Las Vegas Aces, who now are without Candace Parker after she announced her retirement, which is extremely exciting for her. She's taken over at Adidas for the women's basketball division. So continuing to still, uplift women's sports and all that she's done. But the Aces without Ace and Candace Parker still have Kelsey Plum. They still have, of course, Asia Wilson, the two-time MVP. They've got a lot of great talent there. And actually, Caitlin Clark's former college teammate, Kay Martin's on that group as well, one of the young talents. So the Aces are definitely, and the Liberty, the front runners of teams to watch. But there's a lot of great basketball that should be played across this league.
So when Caitlin Clark comes in, how big is the target on her back? Like, how much is there resentment around the league for all the attention that she garners?
I think it's being misunderstood. The players don't hate Caitlin Clark. I think what the issue is, people are just expecting that Caitlin Clark's going to come in and dominate, come in and be dropping 40 points a game and unstoppable. And it's actually very similar to when you look over the past, we've seen big names that come into professional sports. I'm going to use the NBA as an example to speak in NBA terms for people that don't understand the WNBA. That is like this past season saying Wemby's going to come in and the Spurs are going to win it all and he's going to be the MVP. That's not the case. You still knew you had defending champs in the Denver Nuggets and Jokic and Jamal Murray. You still knew you had a very hot Minnesota Timberwolves team that we didn't even expect to be this good. LeBron, Steph, KD. That's what it felt like, almost a disrespect or a slight to the talent that's in the WNBA, because there are so many players that are better than Caitlin Clark, honestly. And to say she's going to come in and just run the league is, in a sense, not aware of the talent that's there. Again, you wouldn't say that about Wemby. We were all excited about him. We knew he was going to be a generational talent coming in, and that was going to just completely allow this Spurs team to be fun to watch. But we also knew it was going to take time for them to truly be a championship contender, and it still will. And I think the Fever are in the same boat. It's going to be exciting to watch Caitlin Clark come in. Every time she steps on the court, it's going to be a sold-out crowd. We already see that tonight. But it's going to take time for the Fever to truly build around her to be a championship caliber team. If anything, they'll be a team that's fighting to even just, get in the playoffs and have a deep run.
So how long do you think Philadelphia, until Philadelphia gets a team? Like we saw that, San Francisco and the Bay Area got their team. What are you hearing from expansion?
Well, the news of the weekend, it's not just about Drake's beef with Kendrick Lamar, because I'm sure you've been tapped into that. It's also that the Six is getting another team. So Toronto actually took that last spot. Originally, it was Portland who pulled out for whatever reason. So Toronto is getting the next WNBA team, which is unfortunate. Philly was in the mix. It was like Nashville, Philly, Toronto, and ultimately the league is expanding into Canada, which I think is a great move. We know how Toronto sports typically have been really trailblazing for opening the door for more professional sports in Canada. I think Philly is next. It has to be. We look at what this city brings as a fan base, and all the pieces are already there. The fan base is there. The sports excitement is there. You've got generational fans. You've got generational talents that have come out of Philly. Looking at Dawn Staley, for example, who just won another college championship with South Carolina. Players, coaches, phenomenal names that come out of Philly, and some of the best in basketball. So I would imagine in the next couple of years, we're going to probably get an expansion team coming out of Philly. It just comes down to the details of the business side. Can they have an arena to play in? Can they get the backing and supporters and investors? But the desire is there. I think the league also wants the city to have a team. The team that happened in Philly before was actually a team Dawn Staley was on. I think they were the Rage or the Fever or the Fire back in the day. It's escaping me right now, but it's been too long. It's time to bring women's basketball back to Philly.
All right, so I got to ask you a question. You were a great athlete growing up, incredible. You played soccer. You're an elite soccer player. You played basketball, right? Like you were an elite athlete. So I have a conundrum. So my Massimo has a concert tonight. He does band, trumpet, all right? Now, he also plays baseball, and he's got a baseball game. Now, he does the band, like he forgets his trumpet constantly, right? So we said that he would not be at the concert because he's got a baseball tonight, and he would rather play baseball, right? So am I making a mistake here? Allowing him to go to baseball. I'm going to ask all of our guests, and you as an elite, youth sports athlete, I'm sure you probably had these things. Were you in band growing up?
I played the violin. I was in the orchestra. So I was out there.
Erudite, like you have it all. Now, if you had to choose between soccer and the violin for a concert, what would you choose?
I did have to choose, and I chose soccer. I chose sports every time. Honestly, that is the sacrifice that you have to make. And even as you're mentioning it, I was like thinking back to all the times I had to miss events, school events, concerts, whatever it may be, to go play, especially the games, not baseball practice. We're talking about games. Because we're not talking about practice. Listen, when it comes to a game, you have to make the sacrifice. If that's the priority, and you know that he's better and more committed to baseball, and that's his passion versus playing the trumpet, being in the band, which might just be more for fun to keep him active, got to go with baseball all day. But it's always good to teach him to have that conversation with your band director, to be mature and responsible, but ultimately...
With the Garganos, the band director. Band director's not happy with the Garganos. And because my wife is getting put on the griddle, means I'm on the griddle.
Oh man, sorry to hear that. Sorry you're sizzling a bit. But look, it's a game or it's a concert. Which would we rather have? We'd rather be out there at the game than sit and watch the concert. And let's be honest, at that age, the concerts aren't always great. It's long, it's a lot. So choose the game all day. And I did that. I sacrificed so much in my youth that I missed. And I look back on I didn't miss anything. I'm glad that I missed out and had a chance to go do what I love, play sports, play soccer, travel all over, be a part of so many championships and historic moments. And I would do it all again if I had the chance. So sorry, band.
Thank you. And Renee played at LaSalle. She was, you still coach right now, right?
I can't anymore. I don't have time with reporting, having me flying and traveling all over and covering games all the time. But I did coach youth soccer for about 10 years. It was a lot of fun. I coached college soccer. I coached youth soccer when I finished playing back in 2014. And I loved it, honestly. It was incredible to go from playing professional soccer, then turning around and coaching and giving back to the next generation. And it's also just great because now where women's sports are as a whole, as we're even talking about the WNBA's 28th season, the NWSL, which is underway, all the excitement around women's sports. It's fun. Women finally have an opportunity to have an inspiration to grow up to play at a professional level. And even for myself, I didn't even have that growing up. And I'm only 31. And growing up for me, you didn't have the same opportunity. So it's great to see women's sports be able to have women aspire to be a full-time professional athlete in the United States and get the much needed treatment and opportunities that they deserve.
Well, you are a great ambassador, and you do great work here at All PHLY. We love you. Renee, what are you guys doing today? What time are you guys on, you and the bro?
Yeah, we've got a post-game show today. So second game of this home-and-home series for the Phillies. Hopefully they can continue to, continue their winning ways. And after the game versus the Mets, or I should say top of the ninth against the Mets, we should be going live with our post-game show and recapping all the fun. Hopefully it's fun.
I think so. Looking forward to it. Nene, we love you. Great stuff.
Thank you for having me. Later, cuz.
There is. She is. Renee Washington does such a great job on the All PHLY Phillies and all her stuff she does with women's sports. So we thank her. All right. Time now. Don't forget this portion of the program brought to you by the Bet Park Sportsbook Casino app. Download it to your phone. And, of course, the Bet Park Sportsbook Casino app brings our next guest on the Daily Grind. He is, of course, the Brain.
Brain. Red the Brain Finder.
Hello, Brain.
Good morning, my friend. How are you, Anthony?
All right, so just so you know that
Yes.
your background is the subject of VG's Private Eye. So we have seen. So yesterday we noticed a book. Andrew, do you have that book from yesterday?
I do, yeah.
All right. So yesterday we noticed in the background a book about birthdays, and this is very interesting. There it is. It's a very cosmic type of book. Now, are you a believer in the cosmic universe?
I got to be honest. No, I'm not.
That's
I'm
not
just
your
putting that
book.
out there. No, it's not my book, man. I if I could bet on it, it would be my book.
I didn't know if
Minus
you were
180 on the no.
using that book, which is got a cosmic spin, right? If that was part of your strategy on your picks, like that you tap into the universe for your selections.
Well, I'll tell you what. I wish I tapped in it in the second half of the Dallas OKC game because I tapped into a massive loss in my bankroll bet in Dallas in the second half. So yesterday, I wish I tapped into it, but no, I cannot take credit for that, my good friend.
Okay. Just so you know that VG's on the prowl. All right.
Yes.
He's a very observant character. All right. He's looking for the crystal ball that you have. So let's talk hoop.
Sure.
OKC, man, they gritted it out last night, dude. You just told us that you had Dallas second half.
In the second half, I watching it's interesting. I thought OKC first half it was one of the worst games I've seen a team play. Like I felt like, and sometimes this happens, Anthony. You being a great sports guy, watching that game, if I wasn't keeping the score, I would have felt like it should have been. And actually, the coach Daniel said felt like we're down 25, and that's exactly what I said. Like, and it was only 11. Not that that's not a lot, but a couple things. Kyrie Irving is one of the best scorers in basketball in this series, and I don't know why he's not looking to score at all. I've lost now twice in a row. His over 22 and a half. I have to reevaluate that because he's not even looking to shoot the ball, and I'm trying to
just facilitate. Yeah.
He's trying to facilitate, right? And obviously, I'm trying to figure out the why when the guy averages 26 during the year. He's such a dynamic scorer, and it's not like they're chock full of scorers. I mean, Luke is amazing. And then, after him, I mean, PJ Washington's playing out of his mind, but still, it's not like a team. You're like a bunch of scorers on the team. So I've been disappointed in that. They played good defense, OKC. I give them credit. And SGA is just phenomenal. He carried the team last night. He really did. He was terrific. What I like about SGA, Anthony, and it's funny because you covered a guy here in Philly who in some ways was a little bit like it, and that he was able to score and be dominant without hitting threes, and Jimmy Butler. SGA doesn't shoot the three. yet he's a dominant scorer. And I, as someone who hates the three-pointer, no one hates it more than me. I can't stand it. It's my least favorite thing in sports is pass interference in the NFL on nebulous calls and shooting the threes every time. I can't stand those two things. So seeing a guy like SGA that can score 30 points a game, Anthony, saying, you know what, I don't need the three. You know, I'm gonna do it just the old-fashioned way. I love watching it. I give them credit. I thought this would be a 7-game series. It still probably will, in my opinion. I think there's a good chance it will. I don't know what your thoughts were on the game, but I give OKC credit. They gutted it out. They didn't have their fastball, so to speak, especially in that first half, but SG carried them.
Yeah, I mean, I look at him and I love him. I do.
Yeah.
I love, and it's interesting because I look at Dallas and I'm just unimpressed by them. Like they play good D, and look, PJ Washington is having a great series, and that was a great addition. But OKC just feels more dynamic to me. I mean, obviously Luka aside, and I'm with you. I'm mystified that Kyrie's not looking to fill it up more because I think they need it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think. And again, I respect. I know what he's saying. He's saying, listen, I want to involve my teammates. He's trying to be unselfish. Like he's actually, which I get. Like this isn't like, I'm sure this isn't him saying I can't do it. It's him saying, let me get everyone involved. Let me be the orchestrator. Let me channel my inner Chris Paul, so to speak. Which, listen, he's such a great player that he can do that. But also what makes him such a great player is his ability to score, right? And in these playoff games, these lower scoring, all these games are 15% lower scoring, Anthony. It's harder to score. And so they need him to score. And if I'm Jason Kidd, I'm saying, listen, I appreciate what you're trying to do here. I really do. And I see it. You're trying to be unselfish, trying to get everyone involved. That's great. Score. We need you to score because you know what? We're too limited if you're like becoming this 15-point a game guy, we need the Kyrie Irving to score 25 if we want to win the series. My 2 cents.
Yeah, no, listen, I'm with you. Let's look to tonight, and I'm just looking at it. I don't know how to read this Timberwolves Denver series. I really don't because I thought Denver was on the map, and I didn't think Denver would be able to get up off the mat. And they're the champs, man. I give them a lot of credit. I didn't think Jamal Murray had a back-to-back. I could see the one, but, I mean, they shook off an early deficit and led wire to wire. And it was crazy. Yeah. We talked about the end of the first half. But, I mean, still, they answered every run that Minnesota had.
You nailed it, Anthony. Listen, again, I admit, look, I picked Minnesota to win the series beforehand. After it became 2-1, I got out of the bet and I locked in a profit of 70 cents. I took like plus 175. I then took Denver actually I got about 80 cents. I then took Denver plus 182 after I saw the game 3. Kind of was a little uneasy about it. But this is a hard series for me of any kind of confidence in. Only way I can look, though, Anthony, right now would be the Denver side. They're at home. They maybe, I don't want to say figured Minnesota out. Minnesota has to be lacking some confidence in a weird way, in a strange, bizarre way. If I'm Minnesota, I actually like being on the road right now saying, listen, us against the road, we did it twice before. Let's just do it again. Let's just bunker mentality. But I can't fade Denver right now. And by the way, I'm making a prediction. I gave out Anthony yesterday a 5.5 to 1 bet on my site, which I just think is going to happen, and I'm going to stick by it. I gave out Denver to beat the Celtics plus 550. I think that's what's going to happen. There's something about this Boston team, Anthony. It's like the opposite of the movie. There's something about Mary. There's something about Boston, but not in a good way, where they're like the opposite of Tom Brady, the opposite of Derek Jeter. There's something about this team. I can't put my finger on it. The talent level is elite. When I watch them, something is missing. I don't know what it is. I'm trying to actually figure it out. I think someone will beat this team in the West. Obviously, it's not going to be an East team, but I think whoever gets there in the finals will beat this Boston team. I'm extremely unimpressed watching them.
They play down, too. I mean, obviously, Cleveland with no Donovan Mitchell, right? You're already down Allen, and I mean, that they should have destroyed them, and they played
They should
down.
have destroyed. They carried them and it's there's something again. There's just something, it's like Drew Holiday's a winner. I can't say he's Jaylen Brown's a great player. Jason Tatum's a great player. Al Horford's a great veteran
hurts their
player.
depth, but to your point, it shouldn't matter when you're playing that Cleveland team.
Listen, I'm just there's something about that team. I don't think they're going to get it done. They talent level, they check off every single thing. You'd say they're the best team. But but again, that's it. You want a little pizza bet? I made it more pizza bet. I think it's worth the regular bet. I took Denver plus 550 to beat Boston in the finals. I think that's actually what's going to happen. You want to give me 5.5 to 1s? I'll take it.
Anything with, I the Knicks team all banged up. I don't know how you go.
Tough game, Anthony. It's fine. The line I think right now on Parks is sitting. I'll bring it up right now. I think it's sitting at 2. Is it 2.5? 2.5. 2.5. It's sitting at right now on the Parks website. Listen. I've been saying I wouldn't bet that with your money. This is a tough game for me. You look at it. You're like, look, maybe the Knicks look like they're finally shot. Maybe they're finally Again, I think they've been, notwithstanding the injuries, I get it, but I think they've been very fortunate with a lot of things that have happened with them in these playoffs. Maybe they've reached the end of the road, but I still can't fade them because I feel like they're the kind of team, once you count them out, they'll just be like, they'll just rise from the ashes and humiliate you if you bet against them. This is a no play for me. I'll watch the game. I'll maybe look to live bet it if I glean something from the game, but there's going to be a crazy home crowd. I don't trust Indiana, Anthony. Lean here would be the Knicks side, but I can't. I just cannot lay points with that team. I had them in game 4 plus 6, lost that. So this is a pass for me.
All right. So what do you got for us today?
Isaiah Hartenstein, Anthony, New York Knicks under. I'm not going for any human achievement, especially when it's a New York Knicks, Anthony. Under 4.5 assists. Look, when he started playing down the stretch, Anthony. When he started getting those big minutes when Mitch Robinson was out, 22-6 to this under, 8-2 to the under in the playoffs. So that's 30-8 his last 38 games. Yeah, right now on the Park site, you have to lay $1.62 juice. I get it. It's going to be pricey and painful if it loses. But again, 30-8, that's pretty good data to me. I think this should be at least in the 2s and the minus. So I think it's too high of a number for Isaiah Hartenstein. I would have made his over under 3.5. That extra assist, Anthony, in these low numbers, we talk about it, extremely valuable. This is my favorite bet, Anthony. This bet is just sensational. Michael Porter Jr. not to get a steal. Listen to the data on this, Anthony. He's 46-35 not to get a steal. 46-35 to the under. We're taking plus 170. Are you kidding me? This is, no offense to the great people at Parks, they're copying some bozo who's telling them to put a bad lineup. This is not the right line, Parks. I love you guys, but it's a bad line. It is wrong. It's just. This is a line. Even if you factor in Porter Anthony's and they get a little bit of extra minutes, this is at best a 50-50 bet. Plus 170 to the under. It's a bad number. If you could bet this every single Anthony, me and you would open up our own casino. Okay, that's how confident I am on this bet. Love it. Michael Porter Jr. And Anthony, I was going to give out a third under, but I'm like, you know what? I don't want you to bust my balls. I got to give some kind of over so that we can walk away on a happy note. And I'm gonna give you Chris Sale, Atlanta Braves, over 6.5 strikeouts. He's pitching great, Anthony. He's absolutely pitching dominant. I'm not saying he's back to the Chris Sale in his glory days. No, but he's really, really good. 5-2 to the over this year against the Cubs. I think this number, I made it closer to 7.5. Not a crazy great play, but I think he gets 7 or 8. So again, in my model, still had an edge taking Chris Sale, Atlanta Braves over 6.5. And I'll give you one last over, Anthony, because I want you to get angry with me on this one. I took Pete Alonso plus 550 to hit a home run. And I'm telling you why. Yeah, well, I'm gonna tell you what. The math on it, Anthony, is just brilliant. Pete Alonso hits home run once every about 3.5 games. He's really more of a plus 250, plus 260 guy. You're giving me over double that? Aaron Nola gives up home runs. This line is too high.
All right. Well, listen, that's why you do it for a living, man. And I know you're pro Philadelphia, so I hear you.
Phillies can win 4-1.
Yeah.
And he hits a solo shot. No biggie.
Listen, I like that. That's what I'll root for you. At Brad'sBestBets.com. At Brad'sBestBets.com. All right. At Brad's Best Bets on Twitter. You gotta check him out. He's gonna make you money. So good stuff, my brother. I'm sure VG will have you spy a book on the other side. So
I will, and I will give you. I'll come up at least one over tomorrow, Anthony. I got to make you happy. Or I'll come back with 3
I'm
unders.
pro human achievement. I mean, I don't know how I got VG. He plays all your plays. He's rooting against a steal. I don't know how you.
It's
that.
hard. It's hard.
Yes.
It's almost you can't even watch.
No
the
steal.
game.
No steal.
I know. I watching Tim Hardaway last night. I had no hard Tim Hardaway steal in the fourth quarter. Tim Hardaway gets a steal. I'm like, like Homer Simpson. Don't. Just I watched 38 minutes for that.
Yeah. The big brain. Thank you, Brain.
Be good.
Appreciate it, buddy. Coming up in just a moment, we're going to talk to the great Larry Bowa. Cannot wait for that. But first, let me tell you about TrueMark Financial Credit Union. All right, I didn't know much about the credit union difference till I met the great people at TrueMark. Kelly Body, who's the CEO, who's a huge Philadelphia sports fan, loves it. We were together not long ago. We had a function, and we're talking 4 for 4, and of course she's like me with her kids in sports and travel baseball, the whole nine. It's awesome. So she explained to me about the difference and how incredible. See, with the credit union like TrueMark Financial, you become part owner, which means profits come back to the customer, right? Instead of going to shareholders. Here's what you really like. You get better rates, you get lower fees, you get a better return on savings, you get more flexible options, and you don't have to sacrifice any of the digital tools, all right? You get all the same banking, right, and tech that you've grown accustomed to. It's really incredible. And TrueMark has local roots. They're headquartered in Fort Washington, 24 branches across the Philadelphia area. They serve our community, our people right here at home, and becoming a member of a credit union. So many benefits over being customer at a bank. Total no-brainer. Head over to TrueMark.com/PHLY to learn more, to find a branch near you. That's TrueMark.com/PHLY, federally insured by the NCUA.
All right, guys. Well, look, guys, if you see outside right now at this moment, that sun's coming out. So what does that mean? You need to protect those eyes, ladies and gentlemen. And with our friends over at Shady Rays, they take care of it. And listen, I'm a little bit of a sunglass expert around here, all right? I like to think that myself. So with Shady Rays, they're one of my favorite brands to have, guys, because look, in a day and age where, listen, everything's going up in price. We're trying to save $1 or $2. With Shady Rays, you get quality, but best of all, it's at a reasonable price. And don't just take it from me. They have 5-star reviews by over 300,000 people, and they will tell you the same thing, that Shady Rays, it's a great product to have. And the best part about it, some of these other brands, if you happen to break it or lose it, which is, let's be honest, something that could happen, Shady Rays will replace it for you for free. Who does that? Well, Shady Rays does, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure you guys check it out. A wide range of different options here. I like more of the sport looks. That's where I lean towards. But you guys can get your aviators, any type of sunglasses, you name it. They have you hooked up with it. So, guys, this is what you got to do. We got you always hooked up here with that promo code. If you go right now, get your Shady Rays on, you can use the promo code PHLY. You'll get 35% off your polarized sunglasses here today. Again, that's PHLY. 35% off your polarized sunglasses here today. Make sure you guys are styling, profiling with your Shady Rays. And thank you to our friends over at Shady Rays.
All right, JP. Thanks, buddy. All right, it's 10 o'clock hour across the Delaware Valley, and it's always time for the sit-down. And our next guest is the greatest. We love him, and it's perfect day after last night to talk to the great Larry Bowa. Good morning, Bo.
What's up, man? Everything's good. Everything's real good.
You know what's funny? I was watching Stott grind it out, right? And just the way he grinds it out. And he's got the Bowa DNA, man. I was talking about it. I love players. You ruined generations of Philadelphia sports fans because we all fell in love with the Bowa DNA.
That's a compliment. I mean, I was always taught play the game as hard as you can. 9 innings, 27 outs, and I'm getting really excited watching this team this year because there's no quit at all. I mean, I watched the last game in Miami. We're down 6-3. We come back and tied, even though we did lose that game last night. The odds were against us going into the 7th, 8th, 9th inning. Come back, not only tie the game but win the game. But I think, not only do we have a strong lineup, I think you got to give our bench, our complimentary guys. I mean, Sosa and Pache, Clemens came up with a big hit last night. We have so much depth sitting on the bench there. I just think that those guys would love to be playing every day somewhere, but they're very happy because they're an extra guy on the Phillies team. And you can't win a pennant without having those guys come in. I mean, right now, JT's down, Schwarb's down. Hopefully nothing serious. They'll get back into the lineup again. But I love our depth. I love our lineup. And the Mets found a way to lose like they normally do against us. We've been tough against that team. And hopefully we can, Nola has his A1 stuff today, get out of there with a 2-game sweep. And then we come home and play them again, Wednesday and Thursday. So I like where we're at. I like the attitude. I like the never quit. It's just a different vibe this year. These guys starting from spring training, you could just feel it in the clubhouse. They felt there was some unfinished business last year, and they're going about it the right way right now.
It's funny. Last week I was talking to Buster Olney, and we were talking about the Phillies clubhouse and how this clubhouse is really inclusive, right? It's got a really kind of winning vibe, like a good baseball inclusive, like where they try to get everybody, to come out of the shell. If you're new and you just come up and you're play a role. And I think to your point about those, complimentary players, those bench players, having veterans like Harper and Schwarber and those guys really include everybody, I think that kind of makes it. I think it makes for your bench to contribute.
Oh, there's no question about it. And in all fairness, Thompson's done a great job in getting those guys in the game. A lot of managers let those guys sit down on the bench for 10 days, 12 days. And then when they get in there, they're a little rusty. But Thompson has a way of giving guys rest at certain times. And they feel like they're part of the ball club. I mean, I'm watching Sosa play shortstop. He's played unbelievable. Do we miss Turner? No question about it. Turner's one of the great players in the National League. But for us to overcome a couple injuries right now and still play the way we're playing, and I know that the vibe I keep hearing from people, you haven't played real good teams. You know what? You're supposed to take care of business. When you play lesser teams, when they come into play, whether it's here at Citizens Bank or on the road, we're doing what we're supposed to do. I know the second half of our schedule of the season is a tougher schedule, but right now we're doing what we have to do. And I just, people don't understand how important chemistry is in a clubhouse, especially when you play 162 games. In football, you play once a week, basketball, maybe 2 or 3 times, hockey, the same. But when you play every single day from February all the way till October, you better have a good vibe in that clubhouse. And as you said, our veteran players welcome all these guys that get called up. There's no egos on that team. And everybody's contributed. I like the fact that we've won some games here, not with our big guys. We know Harp's going to hit. That's just a matter of time. Schwarb's going to do his thing. JT's having a good year. Now Stott's starting to pick it up right now. Pache, every time he gets in there, does something special. Bohm's had an unbelievable year up till now. I could go right through that whole lineup. It's a deep lineup. I wouldn't want to pitch against this team. They're very deep and top to bottom. I'll put them up with anybody right now.
You know, it's interesting. It made me think about this when we were talking about the clubhouse, and it reminded me, and you were there, it reminded me of Torrey's clubhouse. If you go to the late 90s and the Yankees had all that success and they were getting contributions from everybody, it wasn't just about Jeter or Mariano at all. They had a culture, and Torrey had that culture. I remember I covered them, and it kind of reminds me of kind of that. You were there. I mean,
Right.
do you see the similarities too?
Yeah, I do, and I think the manager has a lot to do that with that. I really do. Tom's. Everyone thinks, oh, well, he's a player's manager. I've seen Tom's when he has to get a little bit angry. He does it in his own way, one on one, in his office. He'll let guys know, hey, that wasn't a good play, or we can't do that in that situation. But he comes across as he's a very gentle guy. He is, to the most part. But if he has to drop the hammer, he will. But I think the manager and the coaching staff have got to get a little bit of credit here because they're the ones that keep that atmosphere in that clubhouse real loose. Yet, when the umpire says play ball, these guys are ready to go every single day. I think the last 14 games, if I'm not mistaken, all 14 have had different time starts. That's tough, man. You start playing baseball, you get into a routine. You say, okay, we play at 6:40. We play at 6. These are different time starts, and for these guys to do what they're doing, I think it's been incredible.
So, I looked at last night. One of the at bats that really stood out to me was Merrifield because he's been scuffling, right? And he's able to work the count to 3-2, then gets the walk, and that sets the stage for Bohm and to get hit to tie the game. I thought that was a key moment, and when you get a guy that's going bad, he's hacking away usually and stuff like that, and he had a lot of plate discipline there.
Well, you know what? He's been around. He knows how to play the game of baseball. We did catch a break. There's no question. They showed the replay. He swung on that one pitch, but he sold it to the umpire. He took his gloves off and ran down to first. But, when you're going good, things like that happen.
Yep.
I mean, we could look back at that Miami game. That ball that went off Soto, that's a double play ball. It hits off his rear end and it goes into right field. So we didn't catch a break there, but we caught a break last night. And to catch a break like that and take advantage, that's a whole different issue there. We took advantage of it. And think about the inning. I mean, Clemens starts it off with after Stott hit the home run, he gets a big base hit. This guy has done a good job ever since he's been called up. These guys that don't play every day, they never complain about playing time. They know what their role is. They're ready to play when Tom says, hey, and Tom usually gives them a heads up, hey, you're playing tomorrow or you're not playing tomorrow, which I think the communication factor there is unbelievable. So all the signs right now are pointing straight up. I really like the vibe right now I'm getting, and hopefully we can continue this because I know the second half we're playing some teams that are better than the ones we've been playing. But if we continue to do what we're doing, our pitching's been off the charts. I mean, I watched Sanchez last night. He had trouble the first 3 innings locating. All of a sudden, he kicks it in. This is a young kid, and he could have very easily folded up shop and said, oh, I don't have it tonight. He battled. He kept us in the game. And then we went to our bullpen, and the rest of it's history.
So when you look at, speaking of the pitching, you talked about this, about Ranger. When you and I were on early, I think it was the day that the season opener, and you brought up Ranger, full spring training, right? No issues, health, visa, none of that stuff. And I look at him, and he's just dealing. I mean, is this who he is? We've been having that debate. Yeah.
It is who he is. I've watched this guy pitch in the minor leagues before he got called up. He just had some nagging injuries, nothing real serious, but they're nagging injuries. And when you're a pitcher and you go out there every 5th day, if something bothers you, you might change your delivery a little bit. The release point's different. He's healthy right now. Hopefully he can continue to stay healthy. He's as good as anybody right now. When he gets the ball, I'll take him, Wheeler, and Nola. And you can throw Sanchez and Walker in there. I'll throw them against anybody. But Ranger's on another planet right now. His command is off the charts. He never panics. I don't care. Bases loaded, no outs. You look at him, he's got ice water in his veins. He knows how to pitch. He keeps the hitters off balance. He's got a cutter. He's got a sinker. He's got a changeup and a curveball, and he commands every single one of them. He just doesn't throw strikes. He throws quality strikes.
And then you other guys, I'm fascinated. Pitched last night, pitched well. Kirkering, with his stuff. I mean, his stuff's ridiculous. So, how do you deploy a guy like him?
Well, I think what they're doing a good job. They're not putting him into. When I say high leverage, I'm talking about closing a game. He hasn't done that yet. He did it all through the minor leagues. Eventually, he's going to be a closer here. This guy's got great stuff. He's got closer stuff. But he's another guy, never pitched. He's got a great slider, way above average fastball. He throws strikes. If you look at last year, he really never pitched back-to-back days in the minor leagues, and I think that hurt him. But we were obviously in the minor leagues. We take care of the pitchers. We don't want anybody getting hurt. And now finally he's getting his feet in the ground here right now, and I wouldn't be surprised if Tom's used him back-to-back days. He's still very young. You don't want to hurt an arm like that. And that's the one thing I think that we have done as an organization. We've taken care of guys in the bullpen. You see all these injuries in baseball with pitchers, and we've been very cautious with these guys, and so far it's paid off.
So let's talk around sometimes we look at things through a vacuum. Let's look around MLB for a second and look at the Dodgers because it could be another collision course. So last night Yamamoto goes, and I'm watching. They start the game off, bets at home run. And when you look at a kid like Yamamoto coming over from Japan with that kind of stuff, what's the trajectory? Because it's always the second time around, right? Like once you get a little bit of a book on him, you kind of understand him, you kind of know what he throws. What do you see in there?
He has a high ceiling, Anthony. There's no question about that. He's got great stuff. I do think this, though. I've been watching this guy pitch because, when I get home, I watch the West Coast games. I think he throws too many strikes. And if he pitches against a team like us, he's around the plate on everything. And our guys, I think, will take advantage of that. He can do that to a young team, but I don't think you can throw that many strikes to an older veteran team because these guys are going to put the barrel to the ball. I like Yamamoto. He's going to be a great pitcher in the National League. But I'm anxious to see how he pitches against our team because I've been watching him. He very seldom wastes pitches. He goes right at guys. And you better be careful going at our guys because they'll barrel it up. And you go 1 through 9. We got some guys that you throw it in that strike zone too much, they're going to do some damage.
Yeah, and you saw last time the Giants. I mean, the one mistake early was, again, he was around the plate. Like, that's interesting because we always think about guys and you want them – strike 1, strike 2, but you got to be careful once you get ahead of the count about having a plan.
Yeah, you can expand the zone. I don't care how good a hitter you are. You get 1-2 or 0-2, you're in the hole right there. You got a battle. But I've noticed him. He doesn't waste a lot of pitches. He comes right at you. And, again, he's got great stuff. I'm not going to take that away from him. And if he's on a particular night, he could probably dominate a lineup. But I'm anxious to see how he pitches against our ball club.
Yeah. What the other big story of the weekend was Skeens. Paul Skeens for the Pirates makes his debut. What'd you think? I mean, pretty filthy, right?
That was electric. I knew he had good stuff, but I was flipping back and forth because the Philly game was on. And when we hit, I go watch us hit, and then I turn it over. This guy's stuff is electric. I mean, he's the real deal. And I know they're going to take care of him as far as how many pitches he's going to throw in a game. But he's a young kid, power arm, power slider, power breaking ball, above average fastball. Threw in the hundreds. I think he threw 16 or 17 pitches above 100 miles an hour. And usually you get that out of relievers. This guy was out there dealing. And they got a good young ball club. They're still a ways away, I think, to compete in although the Central Division is one of those divisions not real strong. But you get him on the mound every 5th day, man, he's going to make some noise out there.
I want to see the Pirates get good just for the sport, right? Like, go back to your days when you're battling the Buccos, the We Are Family and Stargell and Parker and Candelaria, and like the Pirates mattered.
Oh, you know what? I was talking to somebody about that the last time when we played the Pirates at home. They said, what was it like playing against them? I said, every time we played them, there was a bench clearing brawl. It doesn't matter where we played, at Three Rivers or at the Vet. It doesn't matter. That's how competitive those two teams were. We respected each other. But it was a dogfight, man, every single time. And somebody'd be getting drilled, and then we'd retaliate or they'd retaliate. And you talk about intensity. People always talk about the Dodgers and the Giants and the Cubs and the Cardinals and the Yankees and Red Sox. Back in the day, that rivalry between us and Pittsburgh was real. I mean, it was game on every time we played them.
Yeah, it was. I like those Sundays when It was Lefty against the Candy Man. I mean,
Right.
that was like, wow, that was must-see TV.
Yeah, you can play the under in those games. There wasn't a lot of scoring when those two guys got on the mound. Believe me.
And they had, I've never, who was Richie Hebner and Bill
Bill
Madlock. I mean,
Yep.
wow. Like, just,
Barber,
oof.
Stargell, Sanguillen. I mean, you go. They had a nasty lineup. There's no question. Omar Moreno played center, who could cover
Yeah.
everything. Bill Robinson was on that team too. He was like a platoon type player for them. He was with us too, but when he went over to Pittsburgh, and he did a lot of damage. So there was Phil Garner played second.
Yeah.
Tim Foley.
Trap iron.
I mean, they had some good players.
Yeah, that was some good baseball. There's certain franchises that I always think is good for it's healthy for the sport if they
Right.
kind of get good, right? Like you look at MLB, and that's why I was excited. First of all, it's baseball, right? So you always look forward to the phenom. I don't know what it is, but like you're always looking forward to. So when Skeens was making his debut, you kept waiting for him to call up. I was actually checking the weather. I'm like, man, I hope he gets the game in, right? I just want to watch him pitch.
You know what? I don't really get that excited like I was that day, but I wanted to see this. I saw him in LSU. I watched the College World
Yeah.
Series, and I'm saying, oh, he dominated, but these are college kids. Then I'm watching him in the minor leagues, and he's striking out 8 or 9 guys in 5 innings, and I'm saying, I got to look at this guy because I saw his stuff in college, and I went, that's got a chance of playing no matter where he pitches. And he lived up to the hype, believe me. He was dealing out there, but he's got a great career barring any injuries.
Yeah.
But I'm like you. I think a team like the Pirates, they've been in the doldrums for so long. You want to see them start to get respectability back, and they have a good young ball club right now. They're getting some good arms coming up through the system, which they should because they've had high picks because they have come in last place or second to the last place. So it sort of equals out. And again, I'd like to see them be competitive, not against us, but against the Central. There's no question about that. And I think the arrow's pointing up for them. I'm not saying they're going to win this year
Right.
or get in the playoffs, but they've made great strides in becoming a better ball club.
All right, so I got to bring this up to you last thing, and I need your advice. All right, I've been bringing it up to all of our guests, so I'm in little hot water. So my Massimo is a travel 11U baseball player, right? And he's also in the band, all right? He plays the trumpet. And tonight is the spring concert for the band. He also has a Little League game tonight, and he'll probably pitch. So, of course, I said he's got to go play baseball. And my wife kind of got mad. Was like, well, he made the commitment, and she has to deal with the music teacher. The music teacher dressed us down, man, right? Like, she's not happy with the Garganas. Now, my wife took the brunt of it. So now I'm like, listen, baseball. The kid's got to play baseball. So what does Uncle Bo say?
Wow, that's a tough. How old's your boy?
11.
Ooh, wow, man, that's tough. Little League's going to be there. It's going to be there. I don't want to go against you, but the chance for him to do the band thing, I got to say you got to sacrifice one game and let him do his thing in the band. Personally, if it was my kid, I'd say, no, get out. But I'm a little bit older now. I've seen some things happen. I think you got to let your boy play in the band, miss one game, and then kick it back in. I know that's not the answer you wanted to hear, but if
I was all
my son-
excited. I was going to tell the music, listen, but Uncle Larry said he's got to play baseball, man.
Well, you know deep down I wanted to play baseball. But this probably might be a once-in-a-lifetime thing in the band. We don't know if he's going to continue in the band, but he's definitely going to play baseball. So I'd sacrifice one game, man.
All right.
I know I'm in the doghouse with you.
I was all excited. He's got the itch because 2 weekends ago we were in a tournament and he went yard back to back, his first 2 home runs.
Wow.
So he's like, he's got the itch like every day. Daddy, pitch to me, Daddy. Like, you know, so asking him right now, like he wants to grind it out.
Did you ask him, hey, what do you want to do? Or did he say, I want to play baseball? I mean, play the game.
What do you think? Yeah.
He wants to play baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah. But is he letting everybody down if he doesn't play in the band?
I don't know. I mean, kind of. I mean, you know.
It sounds like stud on the baseball team. If he hit 2 bombs already last game, he might be the man on the baseball team.
Well, that's another. That's it. All those kids are good. Like so, that's the other thing. But
Right.
no, I hear you, brother. You're the greatest. Thanks, Uncle Bo.
All right, Andy, you take care. And I got the Phils winning this game today.
Yes.
6-2.
6-2.
Yeah,
Bo and Thomas. Bo and Thomas.
I'm going to throw a number out there, 6-2.
All right. I love it.
All right.
You're the
Take
greatest.
care.
Love you,
All
buddy.
right.
The great Larry Bowa checking in. Did not expect Bo to go band, JP.
The upset special. Larry
Bo
Bowa.
said go band.
If Bowa said it, cuz I don't know.
He's on Team VG.
He wants him to play the trumpet.
I know.
You have a tough decision here, cuz.
Dude, part of it, can I be honest with you?
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
you and I.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd rather be watching baseball, man.
I don't blame you.
I mean, I'm the one that's going to have to take them. And I prefer to watch baseball. One of the great joys is the beauty of children. And God bless, someday, hopefully you have it.
Yeah.
You have them. The beauty of baseball, or beauty of kids and having kids in sports, is you get to relive your own childhood, right? Now, you don't want to live vicariously through them.
Right.
But, like, you know, you love to just be around. Like, I love watching them play any sport, right? Like, it's just fun. Get to be around it. You know, all the dads. We all feel the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's just fun to kind of be around it.
I'm looking forward to that. I'm also looking forward to like just teaching him like the life of as a Philly sports fan, teaching him the traditions. Like that's
That
what I'm
stuff's
really
the
looking
greatest,
forward to.
Dude, it's
Take him to the link for the first time. CBP.
dude, it's so much fun.
It is. I can't wait.
It's my favorite. it's my favorite thing. Being dad, you'll love it. If you know,
I can't wait.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Can't wait.
All right, let me tell you about Primos. Man, baseball and Primos sounds like a great night. Right, it's got a good ring to it.
Instead, he's doing primos
Right.
in concert.
Like band and Primos. I don't know, man. You know, something about like outside, right? Works. Look, you got Little League, any gathering, summer perfect like backyard picnics, Primos, graduation parties. Like we're going to be doing graduation season. And the beauty of graduation season, you're going to have parties and people going around. We're doing an 8th grade graduation for Anthony, right? So we'll have people over and we're going to do Primos, right? We may grill a little bit, but we're definitely going to do Primos because it's the greatest thing in the world. The Primo party trays, all right? Something for everybody. Everybody has a smile. They have the pickies, right? The pepperoni and cheese, the pepper shooters, all the goodies. And, of course, they have the cookies and the desserts. It's one-stop shop. It's Primo Hoagies. And it's amazing because it's the same exact taste from the original on Rittner Street, now across 90 locations across the Delaware Valley, countrywide. There's Primos everywhere. I'm telling you, you can't go wrong, right? Your next party, make it Primo. All right, go to primohoagies.com. You'll say what I always say, it's not just a hoagie, it's a Primo.
Love it. Love it, cuz. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is 10:29 in the morning here across the Delaware Valley. I want to take a quick second just thanking everyone. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch the Anthony Gargano Show. If you guys are enjoying it, do us a solid, hit that like button. You can subscribe and hit that bell button. That way you can know exactly when the Anthony Gargano Show is live and all of our great shows that we have here at PHLY Sports. But if you want to be a part of this family, it's very easy. You just got to become a diehard, ladies and gentlemen. Diehards have everything going for them. We give you exclusive contents from some of our great writers that we have here. You get discounts on merchandise. And speaking of merchandise, that PHLY locker, you guys got to check it out. We have great t-shirts, hats, hoodies. I know it's maybe a little warm for the hoodie, but we got some great gear on there. You guys always see me rocking the swagger. Of course, you can rock now that 4 for 4 t-shirt. Definitely check that out. That is all on the PHLY locker. And real quick, let me break down what our schedule here today at PHLY is. So after today at 11 a.m., you have the PHLY Union team. We have you with the NYCFC preview for tomorrow. Christian Polanco of the Soccer Coolikins will be on there. At 12 p.m., PHLY Eagles will be live. At 1, you have the PHLY Flyers. At 2:30, PHLY Sixers. And then the post-game show, PHLY Phillies will have you hooked up after game 2 between the Mets and the Phils. Make sure you guys are tuned in for that post-game show. And that's what we got here on the docket here at PHLY Sports, cuz.
I love it. All right. 10:30, our portion of the Anthony Gargano Show brought to you by Rite Aid. Get your favorite Rite Aid, all your goods at your Rite Aid nearest you, riteaid.com, for all of your allergy needs and any of your vaccines. Check it out, riteaid.com. We'll come back. Clubhouse, VG's Nugs, back in the day moment, best and worst of the night, all straight ahead. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. Clubhouse, John Zapata, JP, VG, Violations, Greg Caputo, as we hang out on this Tuesday. Good morning, fellas.
Buenos
Good
dias.
morning. How are you?
Get the good hat.
I like it.
Man, I'm pretty stoked. I just placed a bet. Bowa Damas. I just took Phillies -4. You got to follow Bowa Damas when he gives you something.
So
Do you remember we were doing the
Yes.
streak with Bowa Damas?
Yes.
And he was on fire. It was during the whole playoffs 2 years ago.
Like weirdly on fire,
Yes.
like calling scores and
Call,
stuff.
yeah, he would call scores.
It's bizarre.
Bowa Damas out of his mind. Like
Okay.
he taps into it.
Okay.
He does.
So,
yeah.
I mean, don't be surprised if you see a 6'2" spot. All right? No, seriously. He's not, you know.
He's got the crystal ball.
Yeah. Yeah, he does.
tapped in.
Actually, Bo's best bets.
Yeah. How about Brad? It's not his book.
RKF says Brain takes the under on astrology.
I said, are you tap into the universe? No.
Yeah, people weren't believing it. They're like, I know that body language. Own it. It's your book. They think he might have been lying about his body language when you asked him
man.
about
Nah,
it.
that's probably not his book. That's probably his girl's, his fiance.
Did he know he even had it back there? Because it was right behind him.
Yeah, it was
I'm
there
sure he
again.
had no idea.
He's got the dice. They're on. He's got 2 sets of dice, a big one and a small one. They're both on 6 and 3. He's got 2 9s behind him. I don't know why they're both on
Really?
6 and 3. Yeah.
So you read into things.
You know, you got to look at the detail. I'm a writer. You observe.
Dude,
you know?
I feel you.
Analyzes everything.
I'm
I love
impressed
it.
by that.
Numerology, you got to look into those numbers.
That's it, Andrew. That's it.
Phillies hire him.
All right, time now for what's going on. First of all, what's going on in the chat with our friends?
Oh, the chat. There's the old heads not feeling the WNBA. A couple of them.
WNBA.
Dave Dewar wouldn't watch it if it was in his backyard.
That's the old. That is an old.
But there's a lot of chatter about the band issue, and people might not be on your side.
I'm sure. I know. What are they saying?
Dev says, I think Ma should go to the concert tonight. There's always more games, and Uncle Frank agreed with that. Peter K, band, exactly what Bowa says. Linda, honor the band commitment. Filthy F. McNasty. Of course, this guy agrees with you with a name like that. Little League by a mile. F the band.
I'm getting skewered.
Listen, you don't like culture. That's fine. What if they were playing the soundtrack to The Godfather? Would that change it? Are you in on that? I don't know if
there
there's
you
any
go.
trumpets in
I
that.
feel bad because the heart of hearts, I feel like I'm letting the school down.
The other band
Letting your
members
community
down.
That's
down.
what I mean.
Yeah, they need a trumpet player.
But here's the thing. The kid has forgotten his trumpet numerous times. And that's when I get my wife. You know what your son did today? He forgot his
It's always your son then.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He forgot the trumpet. And it drives her nuts.
I mean, how many times did it happen?
More than
Let's
once.
do a check when we get in the car. Hey, you got your trumpet?
More than once. Yeah, but it's not up to us. Listen, I got to keep my own schedule.
If he forgot his bat once, you'd be like, Moss, you got that bat? You got that bat, Moss? Come on. Come on. You wouldn't?
Yeah, I
You would.
Yeah.
Whose idea was to put him in the band? Was it his?
I don't know. That's a decision I'm not involved in.
My parents talked me. I played trumpet too. My parents talked me into that one because they wanted me.
I'm
help you
sure
with
my wife had
scholars.
a lot to do with that.
Yeah,
You played a trumpet?
I did.
Can you still do it?
I probably can. I can't play
We'll
anything.
come in and play little taps. Can you play taps on the trumpet?
No, definitely no. My dad kept it. He was like, "You're not. You're probably gonna sell it."
Plus
No, I'm
money
keeping it.
too. Like
That's
you
not
know,
cheap.
No, I
You
know.
want to complain about money on the trumpet with this baseball money? Come on.
I'm sure travel baseball's more.
First of
Travel
all, he's
baseball.
regretting it. He was at drums, and he actually once in a while will go out and play the drums.
Yeah, the drums are sweet.
Like every once in a while, here I'll go, oh, what the frig? He's downstairs.
Yeah, drums are cool.
Because he's got the drum set downstairs.
Oh, that's
yeah.
cool.
I mean,
Yeah, except when it's friggin' 8 o'clock on a Sunday. It's the only time I get to go, and he's down there pounding.
Look at this as like a life lesson of for commitment. Sometimes in life we got to do things we don't like to do, but we have to do it.
True.
So maybe this is just something that he's got to learn
listen,
down the.
I'm down with that, but he also is committed to the baseball team.
I know, but like they say, there is many more games, but the band, it's not going to be around forever. So maybe he'll learn something from it.
Kids are playing like 3 games a weekend.
Yeah.
For one band concert.
Well, it's different. It's his Little League team. It's not his Warriors team.
Is it like an in-house intramural team?
Yes.
It's not even it's a rec city game, a rec league
Well,
game?
it's Little League. They play Little League.
I got you.
You're not supposed to put one team over the other team. Then that's what you're doing. You're setting a bad precedent.
Listen, we all know the travel
the
teams
travel
are
team.
the better teams, better competition.
Okay, well, he needs that shouldn't be.
Listen, Miles Davis, Dizzy Gillespie, Louis Armstrong, and Mas Gargano. Sounds like a trumpet name to me.
Oh, Massimo. Oh, my God. You're killing me. All right. Well, by the way, speaking of the chat,
Yeah.
Thursday,
Oh yeah.
we're going to start phone calls.
That's right.
All right, so we're
You heard
excited
it.
to do this. Thursday, because the Eagles schedule in order comes out tomorrow night. So on Thursday, we will have phone calls in the clubhouse.
Nice. You got to be a diehard.
Got to be diehard.
Respect
all right?
that.
Right? Yeah. Well,
Can't
we're
have
gonna-
just anyone off the street calling
Well, we're going to try to do that at some point, but we need to start it
I can't wait.
and hone it. And we got to, it should be cool for, people support the network. We
Yeah,
wanna allow
absolutely.
them the opportunity.
Definitely.
And it's going to be like TMZ style. So if you want, like you can control your own video. If you just want audio, you can do that, or we can see you. And it'll be like FaceTime.
We can hit you with like
Yeah.
a stock photo if you just want the audio. That's totally fine.
It's going to be like FaceTime. Right? Like, hey, here he is. It's Tony the ref.
Yeah, I want to see the people. I'm hoping they use
Yeah.
their faces and Skype in.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Get a little-
So
Hotline
we'll
Bling,
do the
guys.
Thursday, the schedule.
Definitely.
And the schedule comes out.
Perfect timing too.
So
'cause we're gonna
it'll be
react.
fun.
W's and L's. Let's hear them.
You know? I love the baby.
Get some good look. Our
Yeah.
fans are probably
Defeated.
good looking, so we'll raise the level of attractiveness on the show with some handsome faces out there.
Without a doubt. By the way, I got a to Matt Fico.
Okay.
Matt became a dad.
Hey. Speaking of which, go
Baby
ahead, go ahead.
boy, Mateo Richard Fico.
I like
Nice.
All right.
Mateo.
Good name.
Good
Mateo
name.
is a great name.
Yeah.
So he became a dad on May 5th. Maddie, congratulations. God bless. I got plenty of advice. Don't do what I do. All right.
Don't do
I got
bad.
plenty of. I love
Don't
it.
let
So-
them. Don't let them join band at any point.
No, you're not playing band or whatever in band. Do you play band?
I've played Rock Band,
Joined
the
band.
video game. No,
In
I never
band.
joined band. I was an athlete. I didn't join band.
You, who is such a killing me.
But I regret it. I wish I could play guitar or piano
No,
or
dude, I
something
wish
right
I
now.
had. I'm not musically
looking back,
inclined.
that skill, being able to shoot a basketball, fine. I got arthritis. I can barely do it now. I wish I could, play a little guitar, a little piano, jam with some people.
You can't jam.
Nah, I can't jam. I can sing a little bit, but I can scream
Andrew
on
can
key.
sing. Andrew's got
Yeah.
the voice.
The voice of an angel.
One day you're going to sing for us.
Yeah.
All right.
We should recreate the Super Bad where they make Michael Cera sing. You just have to sing that
do that?
song.
We can do it one day. Yeah.
Yeah,
I can bust
All
it
right.
out. Yeah.
All right. I want to bust it out. All right. What
Yo,
we got?
Yahoo Sports, they did their first quarter NBA power rankings. Where do you think the Phillies come?
2.
1. Hey, Yahoo Sports. Phillies, Dodgers, Braves, Orioles, Yankees. It's only 3 teams. The Phillies are one of 3 teams that have not had someone make their major league debut this season.
Really?
Yep.
That's a great stat.
Only the Braves, the Reds, and the Phillies.
Wow.
Everyone else has had a rookie come up at some point so far.
Let's go.
I love. Why do we love the phenom in baseball? Like I was enamored with that Paul Skeens. I was enamored when he made his debut Saturday.
It's a good question.
I was checking out. I was like looking at the weather. I'm like, oh man, I hope he can. I was reading the story
How
about
many
him.
times did he hit 100? 17?
Yes.
That's wild.
No, dude, it was wild. And It was like watching him pitch a NASCAR race.
Yeah, and then what happened? What happened after was the Pirates made history. They walked 6 people with the bases loaded. First time in 65 years.
Oh, man.
They're wild.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
That sounds like the Buccos.
Hey, we got a good nugget. Boston. We always like to crap on Boston.
Let's go.
The Bruins are down 3-1.
Let's go.
You know what their record is? They've never won a 3-1 series. Their record is 0-25.
The Bruins
Have been down 3
Not the
games to
Celtics.
1. Yes, the Bruins.
Let's
Did I
go
say Celtics?
Panthers.
Because the Celtics, have come back from 3-1
No,
deficits.
the Bruins are
against the Sixers.
0-25 overall when they're down 3-1.
I'm a
All right,
lifelong
that's
Panthers fan. Pavel Berry, baby.
Andrew, do we have the Baldy pick?
You like the?
I'm just playing. I'm just because
I think so, yeah. I'll let me look.
Good. What do we got?
I want to bring up that Baldy picture.
Which Baldy picture?
Him on the beach.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if everyone saw
Yeah.
it. Does he not look like a gladiator or warrior just standing on the
The
beach?
Bionic Man.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Watching the Sky, what do they call it?
The air show?
Air show, yeah.
Yeah.
He just looks like a statue, actually, just standing there like an Adonis.
A Greek god.
Yeah, it's like all the little tiny like JV guys behind him, and he's just on the beach.
It's Baldy.
Yeah.
Baldy.
That's a B-52 coming right at us.
How about yesterday? It's funny the subjects that you bring. I like to bring up as many different subjects.
Yeah.
And watch him just dive into it.
Yeah.
Like he's like, I'm like, are you a helicopter man? Oh yeah, cuz I am. Because I asked him if he was on a fighter jet. He went no, but he go, what about helicopter? We brought one down. What do you say? We brought this bird down in the middle of a
The land.
we brought the bird down in the middle of a farm in Minnesota. Like what?
It's almost like a game. We should just make up like subjects and see if you can stump them at some point.
Yeah,
on
that's a good
something.
point.
No, but he
We'll
has
have-
lived this kind of life where I'm worried about banter baseball. He's putting down birds in the middle of a Minnesota farm.
We should have like commenters suggest subjects. And
I love
we'll
it.
pick one and see if Baldy can go off on a story
He's so
about
well
it.
versed. I love that. That's how you have
Yeah.
to be because like this world, there's so much dope crap in here. Like,
I
you gotta
love it.
learn.
I
it all.
love that. That's a good game.
So I'm finding some kind of bond with New Yorkers right now.
Oh my god.
You're bonding
What are you
with
bonding
NY?
over?
Yeah, I'm joining them in anger and in a manhunt. Our boy Steve Buscemi got sucker punched
Oh,
on
I
the
saw
sidewalk.
that. Yes.
I did not see that.
Yes. Do we have the picture?
We
of
have the
Buscemi?
picture,
We
yes.
have a pick.
Yeah, he got sucker punched, and now everyone all over social media, they have a picture of the guy. Everyone's trying to find out who this guy is. Yeah, that's the guy in a blue shirt who it was like noon on his own, like the block he lives on. He just got sucker punched.
Wow.
So this is like the one time I will like give an olive branch to New Yorkers here and join them.
it's going on. Like all people are just cracking, sneaking people.
Yeah.
He was probably trying to sell him a stinky car.
Why, you remember that episode?
I do remember that episode, yeah.
Larry David, Steve Buscemi.
Oh, wow.
All
Good
right,
pull.
Steve Buscemi was. So what happened was in Larry David and Curb Your Enthusiasm. Who's my man? He was buying the car. He can't smell.
Oh,
He
man.
passed away. Larry's buddy.
Yeah, what?
Richard
Lewis. Richard Lewis.
So I loved him. He was great. It's good. God rest his soul. Anyway, Richard Lewis is buying a car. He has a condition where he can't smell. So he brings LD with him because LD can smell. And he goes, make sure it's an older car, vintage. Make sure there's no smell. So they go to Steve Buscemi selling the car. So Steve Buscemi gives him the car, and Larry David's like he's smelling, and he goes, someone smoked in this car. And he's got the cigarette smell in this car. And so the deal's off, not buying your car. And Buscemi goes nuts. Like, what do you mean you're not buying a car? Well, he says you smoked in this car. Well, if you can't smell, why are you buying the car? It was a great episode.
That was a great episode. I love that.
And also in The Sopranos, Steve Buscemi was, what was his name? Cousin Tony B.
Tony B.
Yes.
Good pull there, too.
Cousin Tony B. And I don't want to, not spoiler now. You know how it ended for cousin Tony B?
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
You get whacked.
Tony shot cousin Tony B in the head because he knew that he was going to go to a grisly, untimely death. So he killed his own cousin.
Wow.
That would be like cousin Joey shooting me in the head.
Yeah, it never happened.
You know?
Yeah.
He stood up to Johnny Sack over that, too.
He did?
Yeah, he went, he's my cousin. I'm not giving him up. Like that.
Respect it.
Yeah.
I
Were
don't.
you a Boardwalk Empire man?
I'm not. No.
So you're out on Buscemi all the.
I mean,
you
Fargo.
don't know Buscemi. Okay.
I gotta finish it. I didn't get a chance to
Fargo.
finish it. But
Great.
it interests me.
Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah.
I'm big on AC. That's why I would want to
Boardwalk
watch.
Empire. Yeah, it was fantastic. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Mr.
Gotta
Deeds.
finish it.
Yeah.
Mr. D.
He's Crazy Eyes and Mr. D's
He's a
lives in the
former
cabin.
firefighter.
Yeah, Buscemi.
yeah. Who I'm not in on anymore, speaking with celebrities, is one of our own homegrowns, a Benedict Arnold.
Who?
Like, I thought it was happening because he shows up at some Knick games. Kevin Bacon. We got a picture of this guy wearing Knicks gear.
Wow.
Bacon?
Yeah, he's out on Bacon.
Wow.
Is he
Look,
drunk too?
Bacon's no good.
No good. He's a graduate of Masterman. He's a Philly guy.
No, Bacon was
His
one
dad
of the
created
original.
the city, the whole layout.
Exactly.
New York, man. That's what it'll do.
Bacon.
That's bad pork right there.
Yeah, man,
That's right. You're a swine. Kevin Bacon, a swine. By the way, I was thinking about this the other day. I wanted to play this game.
Yeah.
Speaking of Bacon and Baldy, they always did the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. Mm-hmm. I'll go Baldy beats Bacon in anything when it comes to 6 degrees.
I'd probably agree with that. I mean, he drops names all the time in adventures.
Baldy over Bacon.
Baldy.
Baldy greater than Bacon.
Dave P saying burn bacon. Oh no, K Ray says burn bacon.
Burn Bacon. He's burnt Bacon. He's out. Bleed Bacon.
Kevin Lard, they're calling him.
Yes. Out. Bacon.
And his
on the
brother
Bacon.
too. Bacon Brothers. You ever see them play?
Who's his brother?
They play music. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Bacon Brothers. Is that
I hate
the
to
name
do
of their
this
band?
one. I saw this on Twitter this morning. I like Orion Kirkering, but this may ruin. You will never think.
No,
of,
I love Kirk.
You will never think of his name the same.
No,
There's
don't
a
ruin
tweet
his name.
from Erin Grugan. Every time she hears it, she can't stop singing the Orion, like the O'Reilly Auto Parts.
That's
song.
horrible.
Yeah.
I like
get,
that song.
Get that out of your head now. Every
I
time
know.
he comes in,
O'Reilly. Auto parts. I think
like
of
that.
Orion's belt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you go on astrology on us.
at you.
Look at you.
Gotta
Suddenly
teach
you're not a
Brad a thing or
Philistine.
two.
I'm a Phillies. I'm a Phillies team.
There you go.
One more quick nug. You got kids. They like ice cream. There's an app you can get that will make your life way easier. Mr. Softy app, so you can track the trucks.
That's a great app. That's a great app.
It's been out a bit. It just got on my radar a couple days ago. But yeah,
They're
you can
always in my neighborhood.
Find out where they are.
Always in my neighborhood.
Dude, so speaking of baseball, right? So we had he was practicing. We had a game Sunday, right? It was a tournament.
Mm-hmm.
So they were practicing, right? I had 45 minutes to kill. Who pulls up but the Mr. Softy? Mm-hmm. Now I'm sitting there and I'm going, I could go for a cone.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I was like, I could go for a
But
cone.
you think about it every time you hear that song. And
Dude,
they pull
I
up, you're
swear to
like,
God.
that
And
sounds good.
I fought the urge for the Softy cone, for the cone.
Pavlov's dog. You hear that in the
I was
music.
like, all of a sudden, I
Yeah.
I'd go for a cone. And I was going to get the cone,
Yeah.
sneak it, and sit in the car and eat the Frosty.
What's your cone? Vanilla, mix, chocolate?
Vanilla Jimmy's.
Vanilla?
Jimmy's.
Rainbow? Chocolate?
No. Rainbow sprinkles, chocolate Jimmy's.
Jimmy's are Jimmy's.
Jimmy's are Jimmy's.
I think the rainbow's not the
This
rainbow.
is a great debate, though. I always have this debate.
Rainbows
I
are
like
Rainbow
both.
Bobo.
sprinkles,
Jimmy's or
chocolate
sprinkles?
Jimmy's. You got it.
Rainbows
Yes.
are the
Yeah, that's what I
Bobo.
do.
Rainbows are Bobo Jimmy's?
Yes.
Disagree.
You go
I
rainbow?
I go rainbow, yeah. I love the rainbow.
The rainbow sucks.
If I want a chocolate, I get chocolate ice cream. What do I want chocolate Jimmy's for? I get the rainbow.
The vanilla with the chocolate Jimmy's.
I do the twist.
I'm not picky.
Twist is awesome.
love
I love
twist.
the twist.
I
Yeah,
like
I
the
do
twist
twist.
too.
I do twist it up.
Twist is a good. Yeah, I appreciate the twist.
Yeah, it's good. Get both the best.
Twist with the jimmies.
Yeah, it's
Rainbow.
good.
I don't like.
What was-
it's like a candy. Like I like the chocolate chip.
What was Howie's quote? I like vanilla and chocolate.
Yes, yes. I thought about it. I fought the urge. I
Yeah.
resisted it.
Why?
I mean, why? I'm trying to cut. You're a skinny man.
Get a little cone.
You're a thin
Treat
man.
yourself. You've earned it. You work a lot.
You're a thin
You've
man.
earned
You
it.
gotta get the frozen yogurt, cause the kiwi, the
Yeah,
fro.
yeah. Well, I'm Mr. But softies.
I know.
Come on,
It's
I'm
tempting.
hearing it, and all. I'm thinking, if I stand in line with those kids, I'm the big chooch. Standing in line.
You can
Mr.
have a cone.
Soft.
Come
Hey,
on.
Mister, what are you doing here?
You're enjoying the game, having a cone. You're allowed to do that.
No, I have time to kill. I was going to sit in the car and eat the cone. I didn't do it.
No, VG, that's brilliant.
I won. I fight the urge.
Such a funny image to see you like sitting in a car eating a cone by yourself.
I got 45 minutes to
Get a
kill.
picture of that.
like hiding it, like make sure
Yeah.
no one sees you.
They, were, I'm like, they see me eating a cone. I'm eating a cone.
No, but VJ, that's brilliant because like now that we're getting into spring, summer, those lines are ridiculous. If I get the hankering for like some ice cream, I do not want to wait in that line.
Yeah.
They're always super long. So that's big. That's big.
Randy taking a shot says, I go to the Northwest for a few days and I want rainbow jimmies.
All right. Time for best and worst of the night. So let's do it. What's our best of the evening,
So
JP?
actually, best of the day today, we have to talk about. This is also gonna be our back in the day moment because today is the 14-year anniversary at the Flyers took Game 7 from the Boston Bruins back in 2010.
Wow, that was the
14 days.
That's a
today.
great one.
Yep.
Great
Down
game.
3-0. Let's play with some jam.
Yeah,
Down
screw
3-0 in
Boston.
games, down 3-0 in game 7.
Greatest comeback ever.
Yeah.
I love Laviolette. I still miss
Yeah.
Laviolette. Lavi.
That team was fun.
Do you
Bobby
remember
was
how
the
they
best.
scored the final goal? Too many men on the ice penalty for the Bruins.
Dude, they really talk about
Gagne with a
fumbling.
power play
Biggest
goal.
fumble in sports history. Oh, how do you
That's
blow that?
amazing.
3-0?
Yeah.
Of course, our back in the day moment brought to you by Rite Aid. Find all your favorite goods from the store nearest you. It's your neighborhood Rite Aid. Wow, that's a great one. Let's play with some jam. That was an awesome game, man. They're down
Yeah.
3-0 in game 7, and it's 3-1. Oh, they're coming back. Flyers are coming back. 3-2. It's on again. Oh, my God. Second period, Flyers.
Make Flyers hockey fun again.
Yeah, I can't wait for the Flyers to get good again.
Yeah,
All right,
me
too.
what's your best of the night, VG?
It was easy for me. High-priced Met guy coming up lame. Edwin Diaz implodes. Highest paid reliever in
Speaking of
baseball.
trumpets.
Yeah.
That was
Love
awesome.
it, right?
That was
Making
awesome.
$19.7 million. They missed them all last year. Love it.
Yeah, your face, Max.
So I can't just spend money nilly-willy. You got to spend smart.
All right, worst of the evening, JP.
So Andrew's got, you got the clip, Andrew? So
Yes.
we're going to go to last night's game still. First inning, 2 outs. Our boy Bryce Harper up to the bat. And then Thomas Nito, the catcher of the Mets. What was he doing here?
Fastball first, right.
What
It's like a
Nito just hit
routine
Harper in the
play.
helmet with his throw
It's a
back
simple
to the pitch.
pitch
Are
and
you
catch with your
kidding?
pitcher.
Oh my goodness!
And he just like
How'd that
hit,
happen?
like it
He
looks
just
like it was
threw
intentional.
it about 3
I
quarters.
couldn't even
Nah,
process it.
I was
Harper's
like
not
embarrassed. He's
laughing.
going, oh, man, you're
Not
right.
laughing, but
Gotta be.
I was like, did someone poke him in the eye? I couldn't even.
Yeah, I
fathom
didn't
the
know that
ball
at
hit him.
first, that the ball actually hit him.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It wasn't intentional, but what are you doing, dude? what are you high?
It's bad. Yeah,
Like,
literally.
What are you doing, man?
It's bad.
It's bad.
My worst is this morning. Street construction at 7:15 a.m. with jackhammers and
come on.
concrete breaker uppers. Too early. I mean, I'm
The
up walking my dog,
jackhammer-
but that's too early.
I agree. The jackhammer is out of line.
You got people-
at 7 a.m.
7 a.m.
yeah,
Yeah.
Come on, that's
7:15
wrong.
a.m. It's 7:15, but come on, that's too early. Even if you're
insane.
up, you want to ease into your day. Hear the birds chirp a little bit.
Yeah.
You don't need to hear that.
That's an 8 a.m. piece.
I agree.
8 a.m.
Totally.
Now, what do you do? You know, the other thing in the suburbs is the lawn thing,
Yeah.
the lawn mower.
They start early.
Oh, dude.
I did landscaping
God.
before this a couple years, and we weren't allowed to start cutting until like 8 a.m. because you want to give people
That
a
makes
chance to
sense.
wake up. You know,
Yeah.
8 a.m. is like a
On the
reasonable time.
weekends, right.
On the weekend,
Oh, yeah,
wait,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
we didn't cut.
You didn't cut the weekends?
No, come on.
8 a.m. 8 a.m.
He's a
weekend.
union guy.
on
He's
a
not working
weekend?
weekends.
Yeah, come on.
I think that should be at 9 a.m.
Plant a tree?
Like 9 a.m. on the weekend.
I agree there. Yeah, you want to ease in, enjoy your breakfast. Maybe meditate. Who knows?
Maybe nurse a hangover. Who knows?
Yeah.
What time do you wake up on the weekend? Now, you with no kids.
Yes.
What time do you wake up?
Now, since I started doing this in the morning, I'm early. 8 o'clock on the weekends, 8:15.
Yeah, my
Really?
body will wake
Yeah.
up like 7:38.
Before this,
Yeah.
10. Unless I'm playing golf, then like 5 a.m. I'll get up
it's
at
different.
any time for golf.
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah.
Now, my kids are at the age now where they sleep in.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. I used to love that as a kid.
Except that I
It's not good for me. It doesn't matter. I work early Saturday, and then Sunday, forget about it.
I mean, I used to when I at that age, I was sleeping until like 11, 12.
Yeah. That's the best when you're a kid.
Yeah.
sleeping
No,
in.
I got to get. My father used to torture me. Like, if you slept in,
Yeah.
he would say, he'd call you Holiday Inn. Yo, wake up.
Yeah, my dad would bust
What's
my
this
chops.
Holiday Inn? Yo, Holiday Inn.
Well, what did he want you to do? Why did he
Wake
want you
up.
up?
Yeah.
He wanted you to wake up.
Yeah.
Do something around the house, clean. Like my dad would bust my chops too.
Wow.
Yeah,
Get
'cause
the
he'd be up
vacuum.
About like 6:37, going
Really?
to work. You know, come back. He sees me laying down or whatnot. He's like, "Get
Yeah.
up, go mow the
No,
lawn or something."
I don't do that. Wait, now here's the thing, because of growth, right? Like, you're sleeping at that age, they need to grow. So I want them to sleep, grow. I keep going, grow,
Yeah.
Anthony, grow,
Well,
grow another inch.
You want like 6'6" monsters roaming around your house,
right?
Yeah. Nice, big, commanding trumpet player on stage. 6'6". Oh, yeah.
Sprinkle a miracle grow in his bed so he gets bigger.
I would listen. I would, if I could do it, I would. So like, what? I'm not. I could, dude. I just want to go. Let them go. Can I just go watch a baseball? game?
You don't want to hang out with band parents.
No, it's
listen
not
to
the
band.
parents. We're all the same thing. Dude, it's horrible. It's bad band.
Damn, you taking shots at the band.
Well, no, I don't mean like
They're probably
that.
a
watching
good
right
band.
Man,
Probably
he's
award
horrible.
winning.
Mossmo's
Do you know
horrible.
what the concert is? What are they playing? That would have some bearing.
No, spring concert.
I mean, they're doing Sound of Music. I'm out.
It's
They're
gonna be
doing some
something like that.
Beethoven or some Mozart. I'm in.
No, not doing that at 11. Beethoven at 11?
Can you imagine?
Come on.
Pretty sick.
Oh man,
Cause you got a
I
tough
feel
decision.
horrible too. My wife like that. She's like, say.
Yeah, I'm with her.
Well, that's going to do it for the program. So we appreciate you as always. Tomorrow, we'll have the schedule. We'll get ready for the schedule, some football. Football.
Win, loss, win. We know what it's like. 13 wins, 4 losses.
Going undefeated, ladies and gentlemen.
There we go.
17-0.
I love it. I
Move over
love
to 72
that.
You do
Dolphins.
love it.
I do. I love
know.
it. It's a guilty pleasure. I don't know.
When you planning out your year, what days you got early stuff to do, the late games,
I love the schedule. I
prime
do.
time.
Thanksgiving.
All right, let's
Christmas.
predict how many primetime games.
I'm trying to work out a away trip with the family. That's what I'm trying to do.
I'll get you
Yeah.
set up for that.
Yeah.
We're going to have Vince on.
Ah, okay.
From Philly
All
Sports
right.
Trips.
I love it.
How many? I'll say 5.
5. Well, we're saying Thursday night, Sunday night, Monday night games.
Right.
All right.
Maybe 6.
Wow.
Prime
I was
time
thinking
games?
Well, we
3.
know Brazil is 1.
Oh, okay.
True. All right, I'll go 4. I mean, after that collapse, you think they're still high on
I'll
the
go
radar?
4 too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Birds.
Yeah, pretty
They're
big.
getting prime
they
time.
bring a lot of eyes.
Dude, they're a primetime team squad.
Good team. Saquon.
At least
AJ.
5.
Okay.
You'll get a Thursday. You'll get a Monday. You'll get at least.
I'll say 2 Sunday nights.
You got
Sunday
a Friday now, so you'll get at least 2 Sunday nights. I mean, right off the bat,
Yeah, I agree.
that's 5, counting Brazil.
The Friday's going to be weird, man. That's
Yeah, Friday night
So you
lights
might have a
in
flex.
Brazil, Sao Paulo.
I love the Friday night games. What? You got a Thursday, you got a Friday, you got a Sunday, you got a Monday. The only thing better would be a doubleheader on Monday night.
make it every night.
No, I hate the double header.
You hate the doubleheader?
Yeah.
Why do you hate the doubleheader?
Well, they don't even. Am I incorrect? Don't they start though? They don't stagger them totally. Aren't they on
7:15?
simultaneously?
Well, no, it depends. Last year they had one. They
I don't like the
staggered.
simultaneous games.
I agree. I like the 7:15, 10:15.
Yeah,
I'm in on that. I like a late game.
that's good. Yeah.
On a Monday night, though,
Who you got to be?
I'm an early bird.
So what? Well, you can't stay up and then get up
That
early?
10-1?
He's going running in the mornings.
Okay, well, then you don't need to do that on the.
Yeah, take a day off of running.
Do the treadmill and watch the game.
Yeah, exactly.
See,
there you
you're
go.
always thinking, Andrew.
Yeah.
That's good, Andrew. I like it.
He's always thinking.
All right, Andrew Fraser. And of course, the great Julia Hoff.
Julia.
Where'd Julia go?
Jules. We lost
She
Jules.
rolls?
I think she's doing something right now. Yeah.
Listen, because when we get into the clubhouse, she's like, I'm out. Don't forget, phone calls on Thursday. We a next iteration of the show. Thanks for hanging, everybody. We love you. Have a great day. Be careful. We'll see you in the morning.
We all silly like the mayor.